While most people believe that, to grow tropical fruit in the middle of winter, you need a heated greenhouse. There is actually a way that only costs about $30 and can do the same thing. It sounds wrong, even ridiculous, because everything we've been taught says the opposite. To fight the cold, you have to build higher, you have to trap heat in the air, you have to create heat, you have to fight winter. And every year, people still do exactly that. They build greenhouses, they run electrical lines across frozen ground, they use heaters, and they constantly worry that if the power goes out, everything will die. I know that because I used to be the same, but I was wrong, completely wrong. The problem isn't how much you build above the ground, it's where you choose to fight winter. Because the coldest place is the surface, and the most stable place is right beneath your feet. I'm William. I'm 70 years old this year. If you care about clean food and forgotten growing methods, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below, because what you're about to see is very simple, but it could completely change the way you see winter. It's called a sun trap pit. Some people call it a walipini. It sounds simple, even a bit primitive, just a hole. But what makes it different is how it works. Because what you've been doing before actually doesn't work. A greenhouse sounds logical, but in reality, it's a trap. You're trying to hold heat in an environment that can't hold it. Air is always changing. Wind blows through, heat escapes, and you pay for every tiny bit of heat. You're not growing plants. You're running a system that's always in emergency mode. Just one night without power, and everything is gone. And that's when I realized the problem isn't the cold, it's the way we try to fight it. That's when I started to rethink everything. Not how I was building, but where I was placing my system. I always thought the problem was temperature. The air was too cold, the wind was too strong, the winter was too harsh. But then I realized I was looking in the wrong place. The air is constantly changing. It heats up, it cools down, it gets carried away by the wind. You can't control it. And every time you try to hold heat in the air, you're fighting something that never stands still. That's why you always lose. But the ground is completely different. If you just dig a little deeper, you step into another world, a place not affected by wind, not affected by snow, not affected by the cold on the surface. Down there, the temperature barely changes. And in that moment, everything started to make sense. Maybe the problem was never that winter was too cold. It was that I chose the wrong place to fight it. Beneath the surface, there is something most people don't realize. Soil is not just soil. It is a massive thermal battery. All summer long, the sun constantly heats the ground. That heat doesn't disappear, it gets stored. And when winter comes, the surface may freeze, but below, everything stays stable. Once you go deep enough, the temperature barely changes. Day or night, storms or snow, it remains the same. What does that mean? It means you're not starting from zero. If you grow on the surface, you're starting from the cold. You have to create heat. You have to keep heat. You have to pay for every degree of warmth. But if you go below, the heat is already there. You don't have to create it. You just have to keep it. That's the difference. One side is fighting nature. The other is using what nature already provides. And once you understand this, the entire way you see winter growing will change. From the outside, it just looks like a hole. No steel frame, no machinery, no complex systems. But in reality, it's not just a hole, it's a system. It uses the ground itself as insulation, it uses sunlight as the energy source, and it holds heat. Without electricity, when you dig down, you are no longer in the air's environment. You step into a space surrounded by earth, and soil does not react like air. It absorbs heat slowly, but it also holds heat for a very long time. That creates something that most modern systems don't have: stability. No sudden spikes, no sudden drops, no dependence on hourly weather changes. Just an environment that stays stable. And that stability is exactly what plants need most. To survive through winter, this system works, not with machines, but through a very simple cycle. During the day, sunlight shines down. Light passes through the glass and reaches the ground inside the pit. The soil absorbs that energy, little by little. It doesn't heat up instantly, but it stores the warmth like a stone being warmed under the sun. The longer it sits, the more heat it stores. Then when the sun sets, everything begins to change. The air outside gets cold. The temperature drops quickly. But inside the pit, it's different. The heat stored in the soil begins to release, slowly, steadily, continuously. It doesn't escape all at once, because around it is earth, not air. That means the heat stays longer. And when you seal the top, you almost lock all that heat inside. During the day, you charge the system. At night, you use that stored energy. No electricity needed, no heaters required, just a natural cycle, repeating every day. And once you understand how it works, you realize something important. You're not creating an artificial environment. You're simply using a system that nature has already built. Now, we start digging. This is the most physically demanding part, but it's also the part you only do once. You're not building something temporary. You're creating a system that will last for years. And everything starts with a hole. First thing is size. Don't try to make it too big right away. A simple size, about 2 meters wide, and 4 meters long, is enough to start. The reason is very simple. Most glass panels are made in those dimensions. You don't want to cut glass. You want the hole to fit the glass. Next is depth. This is the most important factor. You must dig deep enough to get below the frost line. Typically, you're at least from 1 meter to 2 meters. If you stop at 60 centimeters, you're still in the cold zone. And at that point, the entire system won't work. As you dig, don't throw the soil away. Keep all of it and pile it up on the north side of the pit. Create a wall of earth. This wall has 2 purposes. First, it blocks cold wind from the north. Second, it creates height so you can place the glass at an angle. And this is a detail many people miss. Winter sunlight does not come straight down. It comes in low, very low. If you place the glass flat, the light will reflect. It won't enter the pit. But if you tilt the glass toward the south, the light will go straight in and bring heat with it. Next, is water. This is the mistake that causes many people to fail. If your soil holds water, the pit will turn into a pond. When it rains, water won't drain away. Plant roots will get flooded, and the plants will die. The solution is very simple. Dig a smaller hole right in the center, deeper than the main floor by about 40 to 60 centimeters. Then, fill it with gravel or large stones. It will act as a drainage point, keeping the entire system dry. Finally, the most important part, especially the cover. You don't need to buy new materials. You can use old glass doors, old windows, or polycarbonate panels. What matters is not whether it's new or expensive, but how you place it. Set it at an angle facing south, steep enough to catch winter sunlight, and sloped enough so snow can slide off. Then, seal the edges. You can use stones, sand, or sandbags. Just make sure no wind can get in. When you're done, it won't look like a hole anymore. It will become a complete heat-retaining system, a system that needs no electricity, no heaters, but can still keep plants alive through the entire winter. After the system is complete, everything changes. You're no longer racing against the weather. You begin to live by a different rhythm, slower, but more precise. Every morning, you step outside, not to check if the plants are still alive, but to adjust. You open the cover for section, just a little. The air inside doesn't escape completely, just enough to balance. On sunny days, something strange begins to happen. Outside, it might only be a few degrees, but inside, the temperature rises quickly. 20 degrees, 25 degrees, even higher. No heater, no electricity, just sunlight and the ground. If you're not paying attention, the heat can rise too much. So, you learn to observe. You no longer rely on devices. You become the controller, just by opening and closing. Morning, open slightly. Midday, check. Afternoon, close it. Then as the sun begins to disappear, another phase begins. The most important phase, you don't leave the glass exposed. You cover it with an insulating layer. It could be old blankets. It could be foam boards. It could be anything that holds heat. You're doing something very simple. You're keeping what the sun gave you during the day. If you skip this step, the heat will escape. And by the next morning, everything resets to zero. But if you do it right, inside, it stays warm. No frost, no freezing, just a quiet space. A living space, in the middle of winter. And then, one morning, you step outside. The cold wind cuts your skin. Snow covers the ground. The trees around are frozen still. No more green, only gray. You walk toward the pit, brush the snow off the glass, place your hand on a thin layer of ice, and instantly, a wave of warmth hits your face. Humid air, the smell of soil, the smell of life. You lean down, look inside. Green, florinarium, not a weak green, but real green. Leaves you never imagined could exist at this time. You reach your hand down, touch it. Not cold, but warm, as if summer is still there. You pick it, and in that moment, you understand something. This is not just food. This is time, stored. This is summer, held inside winter. No transportation, no chemicals, no dependence on any system. Just you, your land, and a system working silently. From that point on, everything changes. You no longer see winter as an enemy. You no longer try to defeat it. You only need to understand it and work with it. Part 9, Philosophy plus CT, a 1,000 characters. In the end, you realize something. The problem was never that winter is too cold. It's the way we choose to face it. We try to build higher, try to create more heat, try to control everything. But nature doesn't work that way. It doesn't need you to control it. It only needs you to understand it. This pit is not a trick. It's a different way of thinking. Instead of fighting the environment, you use the environment itself. Instead of consuming energy, you use the energy that already exists. And when you can do that, you're building a system that keeps working, even when you're not there. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you have any questions, because there are many methods that once existed but have been forgotten, and together we will rediscover them. This video uses AI-assisted tools to help present visual information more clearly and understandably for viewers.